The only base is going... I mean, I joke that it's not going particularly well, but it's actually not going particularly badly either. We are struggling a bit with oxygen right now, so we're not even going to look at any of the dupes. So, oh man, passing up a bubbles, really. But I will take the nutrient bars. We don't really need them, but food is food. We have got an icy fan over here, though, and I would actually like that to be managed, because there's a lot of heat up in that corner. If we could perhaps get this done as a bit of a higher priority, though. Now, most of that is a dig job, so it's not going to be an issue. I would like this water, however, to be mopped up at your earliest possible convenience. Ah, balls. It's already too late. It's already got in a little bit too deep over there. 468 kilos of water. Alas, that is not good. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like it's germy water. We can happily let it just build up down there, but it will stifle the trees, which I would kind of like to grab if I could. There we go. Liquid pumps, mesh tile, fantastic. Let's get those mesh. Oh. You're made of dumb. Come on then, let's get this finished. On the plus side, you have blessed us with wondrous polluted water, which will eventually turn into polluted oxygen, which will eventually turn into oxygen. Ah, really? What I need to do is trap you out there more often. Evidently, this is actually what we require. Right. Oh no, I did want that deconstructed. We only chose challenges. Geoactive chose this particular asteroid. Well, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. It was Geoactive choice. Fair. Would the water lock helpful keeping the glacier waters out of there? Honestly, it would, but I'm not actually trying to keep it out. As much as it does annoy a bit here and now. That cold water suddenly flooding across, it does do a little bit of double duty in it. It absorbs a lot of the heat from this area. Now, what I'm hoping is that this Okay, missing deck or item. Okay. Well, that's going to be an easy one to get. I completely forgot about doing that. It was really silly of me. Let's go ahead and get 2 plant pots. Pomp, pomp. With those up, people's morale will be very good for a very, very long time. Let's get that out the way. And that out the way. Let's move those out of there as soon as we can. And down here. Copy that across. This should have a nice big gold importance priority there, just like everything else. As soon as that gets removed, I'm going to add in some more oxyferns, because once this is built, we're going to be able to produce quite a lot of CO2 for those oxyferns. I do need that made, though. Reasonably urgently, actually. Let's see. See, it can sometimes be very misleading. There's only 178 grams of polluted water there, and only 404 grams. But there's 404 kilos of water. It's not that the polluted water is that dense. It's just that you can't have a tile contain different elements. So the polluted water, because it has settled lower than the water, it can't be displaced, and it creates a full tile look. It's very misleading when you're looking at things and trying to work out how much liquid is there. The moment we actually start digging that, it's going to become crazy. But it's fine for now. Alright, where are my dupes? Sleeping? Pooping? Okay, fair enough. But we want to get these mesh tiles down here as soon as we possibly can. There we are. Now, actually, I'd be happy with this existing there. And we'll cancel that. There we go. We don't need it. We just need to get any polluted water in here so that it can evaporate and then be turned into precious oxygen. Now, if we condensed it, we'd get more. Because a single tile, when things sublimate or evaporate, they lose a percentage of their mass. So if you want to hypercharge how quickly you can get oxygen from polluted oxygen, you want a larger mass of polluted oxygen, so that when a single tile evaporates or sublimates, then you're getting more bulk of oxygen out of it. You're still going to get the same amount over time, but you'll get it faster. One way of doing that with water, because liquid, because it has a certain pressure, much like gas, it'll only naturally fill a tile to a certain pressure before you have to go through shenanigans to get it to compress, is to use a liquid tank. Have I unlocked those? No, I haven't. Well, one thing you can do with a liquid tank is a liquid tank occupies 6 tiles. I think the natural water pressure is about 1,000 kilos per tile. So a ton per tile. So in 6 full tiles, you could have 6 tons of polluted water. But really only the top 2 are ever going to evaporate. And it's only going to be a percentage of 1,000, and then it'll be a percentage of less than that, and it'll keep going down until eventually the water pressures kind of equalize. One thing you can do is fill a water container. Now, those, I think, have a storage capacity of 5 tons? Could be wrong. A liquid reservoir. I believe they have a storage capacity of 5 tons. Now that's 1 ton less than the equivalent amount of water. But if you fill it and then deconstruct it, it will drop a 5-ton water barrel. Just one jug will contain 5 tons of polluted water. Now, if you do that just in the open, well, now that 5 tons of polluted water can evaporate. But it'll be evaporating a percentage of its mass, which is now 5 tons, all in one go, every time it evaporates. It's a very quick way of producing oxygen in large quantities. Aavak, I love how your plants are flickering between healthiness and death. Yeah, it's because they don't have enough CO2, enough gas pressure there. Right, have we finished this? No. Can we finish it? Probably. Let's get that finished. Actually, that one should be a oh! Oh dear. Did all of that instantly liquefy? Oh, it might have. I mean, it's certainly cooled down the stone, if nothing else. Oops. Well, my bad. Let's we can mop it. Oh no, what happened is the moment we breached a certain point, that, like I said, it was like 400 kilos of water there at one point. That was a lot of water to just push out. We've still got very little polluted water, generally speaking. It's fine. It's fine. We'll make it work. Physics, indeed. It really doesn't matter that they mess themselves there. Again, it's not germy. Oh, actually, no. No, sorry, I do apologize. It was germy because it was from them. But again, we're not cooking with the water, but we can just grab that, and then eventually the the food poisoning germs will naturally die off because they can't survive in clean water. They multiply in polluted water, but they don't in fresh. But yeah, as was mentioned there, I'm not cooking with water. They're just eating raw meal lice, so it really doesn't cause an issue. Right, we want a plant that can survive in high temperatures for now. Mirthleaf is probably the only one that we've got the option for. Once that's done, this becomes a great hole. I am actually going to need somewhere where I can store things that I want swept. But only things that I want swept, so I can just empty this place out, and then that's done. I could build it closer, actually. It would probably be a bit easier, but oh well. But this is producing oxygen. Not very much, but it is producing some. Fried mushroom? Oh, a Dreklet. If I could, I would very much like to keep you alive. Yeah, we're going to grab that Dreklet. You can just wander around for now. We eventually want plastics. Aavak, came from Reps. Just wanted to say you got a really nice voice. It's enjoyable watching you stream. Sadly, I gotta go now. Continue the great work. Oh, thank you very much, Santa Easy. That's incredibly kind of you. Santa? I'm dyslexic. I do apologize. When I try to read a name fast, there's a 50% chance that I'm going to get it wrong. Satanese. Santa. Good old Saint Lucifer. Bringing the presents to the wee ones. My lord. And thank you, fam Amber. It's very kind of you to say as well. My goodness. Santa, Satan, potato, tomato. Yeah, exactly. Good old Saint Mephistopheles. Right, let's get everything swept in there. And I want this to be on a nice high priority, so when I tell you to soup something, you can always put it in there. Let's get all of that swept, please, and thank you. Now, the liquid doesn't matter. That liquid's going to be coming back in here anyway. Now, on the plus side, we're going to be getting lots of clay from this as well. And without a slime biome, clay may not be something we'll easily get. Oh, wow, okay. It's another cold area. Oh, wow, look at the way that heat has been... I can only imagine this sand was hot to begin with. But ever so slowly, it's beating back the heat. I like it. Go ahead and mop that up. Get it in bottles. The more bottled liquids that we have, the less we actually need to use this. Have I found any Wheezeworts? No, I haven't. Not yet, unfortunately. Hopefully we will, though. That's unfortunate. There's not enough gas pressure in here. But has that made this a room? No. We'll eventually get the gas pressure up, but it's going to take some time. Right. Talk has got a new point. I don't think advanced research is going to help, but I'm going to grab a little bit of research just to help along with skills. Same with you at this point. You can afford it. Shelley. Oh, no, you're going to just sit on that skill for now. I think that's probably wise. Everyone else is kind of where they need to be. Yeah. Alacramps and Shelley, until I have a need for digging a pistolite or I really need some hefty sciencing, I'm not gonna go for that. If I had the Great Hall, I would give Shelley the that point, but there's just not as much reason to right now. Has this been loaded with ice? It was at some point, but alas, not anymore. Will they ever empty that out, I wonder? We'll see. I mean, giving everyone a point in supply is not a bad choice sometimes. Because that 400 kilos for one morale point. Yeah, actually, I'm going to give both. Oh. Yeah, I am. That'll help a fair old bit. There's a certain spattering of easily achieved skills that I just think are always worth every duplicant having. And 1 point in carry and 1 point in science are some of them. So are the hot and cold areas just naturally starting at that temperature? Or are there active heat sources, sinks, constantly working in those biomes? They naturally start at those temperatures, and then over time they will change. This just keeps flickering between being a Great Hall and not. It is most sad. We'll eventually get it sorted, peeps, don't you worry. Do require this, though, and for that I need this done. What's everyone working on right now that's drawing their attention so much? I wonder. I mean, yeah, getting that clean is fair enough. I do need that one dealt with. Right. Donk. We'll allow them to clean out some more items around here. And then once the last of the random gubbins from here is gone, I'll activate this and allow them to bring over the polluted water. Then we're going to want these set up, but at that point we'll have a little bit of oxygen generation going on. I'm not going to do the whole trick of the water reservoir because most of the really fun things that you can do in this game to kind of get around resource scarcity, they feel a little bit, well, they're not straight up cheating or glitching. It feels like you're using the mechanics of the game in a way that the developers didn't really intend. And sometimes that's just because you've thought outside the box and it's pretty clever. But sometimes it just feels like you're cheesing it. Let's say cheesing rather than glitching or cheating. Definitely cheesing. The whole, 5-ton water jug. That feels like supreme levels of cheese. And I'd rather avoid it if I could. Yeah, it's because the mirth plants keep fluctuating. You bang on with that. And the reason why they keep fluctuating is because, unfortunately, there isn't enough gas pressure in there. We have insufficient oxygen generation by about 100 kilos. Yikes. Right, peeps are finally getting this on the go, which is good to see. Right, now that that's done, though, we can finally set this up to take polluted water, and I would like to do that on well, honestly, on an 8. If you've got polluted water, will you please stop that, Pip? If you've got polluted water, please get it moved to where it needs to be. Got more water running down here? Yeah, we do. Always more to do. On the plus side, this place is getting crazy amounts of polluted oxygen. I should probably start sorting that out, actually. Look how breathable it is up here. People are going up there to half that sweet pea water gas. Wondrous Borg, thank you very much for the 2 months there. Second month, best month. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I will certainly do my best. Oh, the reason why their stress is so high is the unavailability of oxygen. By far. By far. They're having to breathe a lot of polluted oxygen. It's just not a nice place to live right now. They're constantly feeling like they're on the verge of asphyxiation. That would drive anyone bonkers. I should deconstruct this one for now. No, fart air is very different. We know what fart air is because of the flatulent dupe trait. That's natural gas. Shakal Draconis. So, all this oxygen made from polluted water. Is this how London came to have pea soup fog? I mean... no comment. But no, London was known for many things back in the day. Not very many of them were good. Loads of water down there. I need to set up an electrolyzer setup. Have we... Yeah, we're almost done with the water sieve. Once we've got that, electrolyzer... Do we already have the gas pumps? We do. Very, very nice. So with that little last bit, we just need to get the hydrogen generator. Yeah, down there will be the last thing. And then we can set up an electrolyzer setup. Shouldn't be hard for us to do. We've got loads of water on the map, especially given those massive glacial areas that are just waiting to melt. Of note, it is better for us to not mine the ice if we're not going to use the ice. Because when you mine with the mining gun... Oh, there is a bit of light on this map. When you mine with the mining gun, you lose 50% of the mass. Whereas if you just let it melt, you'll get all of the mass. A state change preserves the mass of the object it's changing into. Can I miss the B-store? We've got this. Let's go get some copper ore. How much have we got? We've got not very much at all, actually. There we are. Let's get that going. I need to do more mining for metals, really. There's lots around, but I'm not being particularly proactive. Oxyferns, don't need it. The coal we will, though. Hydrogen over there. Nice. Alright, well, we've started to get to a point now where I'm beginning to feel a little bit more confident. Famous last words, I know, but here we are all the same. Really? Could you find nowhere better to sleep, Pip? My goodness. Yeah, mining oxalite loses half the oxygen as well. Yep, exactly. Generally speaking, if you don't have to... What? You don't want to mine something. Mining loses mass. Right, ethanol distiller, water sieve, algae distiller, marvelous. Now, the actual distillers we don't want to set up yet. I mean, I could try and put in toilets, I guess, but I mean, that would generate more polluted water, which is a net gain for us. But right now, we're not even producing the oxygen we need. Let's go ahead and hopefully... I need 2 kilos of that. We very much need to get copper ore, some more copper ore done. Once we've got that set up, it'll be a step in the right direction. But for now, I'm going to say we need to excavate. Narrow corridors into very hot areas, unfortunately. We're going to want to keep going up. Find out what that is to find out. Now, those should not be 7s. Those should be 6s. Down here as well. No, wait. The reason why we don't want to go down there, that's currently where we're getting we need that to be maintained as a carbon trap. Instead, then, let's just move that out a little bit. Oh no, this is always going to be watery. We could go down on this side, I suppose. Though to that end, it might be better just to tunnel in and then go down over here. We can see a little area over there as well. So, yeah, we've got a couple of things we can work on. Yeah, the force is currently... Ooh, wow, 66. Why? Sufficient morale, -5 per cycle. Sopping wet, 20... Oh, right, okay. Low oxygen. Alright, well, we'll see how that goes, but the sopping wet is the thing that's really smacking them in the face. Yeah, we're not going to give you anything. You're already close enough to your morale threshold. We don't need to make that any worse. Alright, how about we get this place cleaned up? Because you shouldn't have to walk through all of that all the time. Yeah, we may need to get massage set up sooner rather than later. That would necessitate more power, definitely. Actually, let's run this through the tile there. There's quite a lot of things that are going to eat up power. Honestly, at this point, as much as I was going to just have this there just to help with a bit of automation of production of CO2, I think we're going to need a coal power plant instead. Yeah, I strongly suspect that, actually. Have we got enough copper to build a smart battery? Really? Oh yeah, okay. We're just a tiny bit out. Could we get a little bit more than that? Yes, we could. That'll do nicely. Plenty of O2 being made everywhere. How long am I going to be streaming for? Well, that is the question, isn't it? I'm going to be streaming for 9 hours because the chat has used all of the more commands, and there were 2 left over from my stream with Wanderbots. So it's going to be 9 hours. I was going to stream for 6, but which would have been 1 hour from now. But yeah, we've got an extra 3 hours to make up. Lux Barbman, thank you very much for the resub there. Or rather, thank you very much for gifting a tier. Thank you. Another 3 hours and 50 minutes, indeed.